Yeah. Lil Brunson back at you with the back at you, and I am the best reporting on the Eagles. Listen, this is the thing, man. The Philadelphia Eagles need to bounce back. We must bounce back. Nobody's giving us a chance to beat the Rams. The Rams coming into Philly. Rams probably already there. You know what I'm saying? They probably already done caught their flight. They probably trying to get acclimated. They're trying to get, sit down and, look over tape, start studying, doing X, Y, and Z. Nobody's giving us a chance to beat these guys right now. And it is what it is. We put ourselves in this bed. You know what I mean? And I feel like that a bounce back performance doesn't necessarily mean a W, but I believe we have the tools and we will get the W. A bounce back performance doesn't necessarily mean a W. What you would like to see in a situation like this is because listen, man, I'm telling you, you're going to see a lot of 1-1 teams this week. I'm telling you, everybody that necessarily won last week, in my opinion, still dealing with some rust. You know what I'm saying? And things might fall off the hinges for a week for a lot of these teams that won last week. And a lot of teams that didn't win last week are going to win this week. So I think you're going to have a lot of teams that are 1-1. A lot. You know what I mean? And I think the Philadelphia Eagles and the Rams will be 1-1 when it's all said and done. This is the thing, man. We're not going to sit here and make any excuses about, shortcomings that we had, shortness of players who weren't healthy. Everybody's dealing with the same stuff we dealing with. But what I will like to point out is that we getting some guys back. Lane Johnson and Miles Sanders are going to make a difference in this game. I watched the Rams and I watched the Cowboys game. Wait, first before I get there, you know what I mean? I just want to explain something. I don't quote stats and I don't put stats up for my health. I don't come out here making nothing up. When I sit here and said the Philadelphia Eagles were number one defense, that means, listen. Some guys are fans. Some guys look at football from a fan perspective. I look at football from a whole different angle. I started as a fan. Now I got to do a little more digging than the average fan, being as though, I have this platform that I have when talking football, when talking Eagles football. Listen, nobody else in the NFL through 1 week has allowed less yards than the Philadelphia Eagles. From a yardage standpoint, the Philadelphia Eagles are the stingiest defense in the NFL through 1 week. Granted, it's only 1 week, but it's still a positive that we need to be hanging our heads on. It's still a positive. You can't come from a game like that opening the season with nothing but negativity. You can't. Look at the other teams who did the same. This should let you know that it's not a fluke. The Bills were up there. The Patriots were up there. The Colts were up there. All three of those teams were in my opinion, estimated to have a pretty stout defense coming into this thing. So were the Redskins, who are also in there. And so are the Philadelphia Eagles, who I projected to have a top 5 defense since the offseason. You know what I'm saying? We did that without Hargrave. You know what I mean? I just wanted to point that out, that, when I'm saying that we have the number one defense, you don't judge your number one defense by getting 8 sacks. The Redskins got 8 sacks, yes. But there's teams that got more yardage was allowed by the Redskins than it was by other teams. The Redskins weren't the stingiest. They got 8 sacks. There's teams, the team who led the NFL in turnovers last week, it's not the number one team. When you're talking about the number one team when you talk about the number one defensive team, you're talking about yardage allowed. That's how it's always been, unless it's changed. Let me know. But anyway, moving on. I watched the Cowboys and the Rams game. And, some things stuck out to me. I had to watch that game simply because we played the Rams. And I had to see what the Rams did to win that game. The Rams knew that the Dallas Cowboys defensive front could potentially be a problem. So off the back, the Rams moved Jared Goff around. Jared Goff was out of the pocket a lot. There was a lot of short, quick throws. I didn't see any explosive plays from the Rams. I didn't see it. Now, that's not to say that they don't have those type of things in their playbook, but I didn't see any explosive plays by the Rams. I saw the Rams do quick passes to the sideline. The Rams make a guy miss. I saw wide receiver screens. I saw quick passes to the middle. I saw the Rams doing a lot of getting the ball out of Jared Goff's hands fast. Now, they could carry over a big piece of that game plan to the Eagles because everybody knows that we have one of the best defensive lines in the game. They could bring that. You know what I'm saying? What the Rams did was neutralize the Philadelphia Eagles. What they did was neutralize the Dallas Cowboys pass rush. The Dallas Cowboys only got 1 sack in that game. You know what I'm saying? 1 sack in that game. That should tell you something. Last week, I think the Eagles got 4 sacks. I think it was 3 or 4 sacks we got last week. You know what I'm saying? And that's with the Redskins running a similar, move the quarterback around, little quick pass setup. Now, these aren't the same Rams. I will tell you that. These aren't the same Rams. You're not going to see a bunch of plays for Gurley. You're going to see a running back by committee. You're going to see a running back trying to run the ball to keep short chain it. You're going to see a lot of passing on first down from these Rams. That's a prediction that I think. You're going to see a lot of passing on first down from these Rams because they believe that that's their best way to stay ahead of the chains. Now, I see opportunities for the Philadelphia Eagles cornerbacks in these games to make a name for themselves because the way I would defend the Rams based off what I've seen against the Dallas Cowboys is I would play a lot of man in this game. You got Slay for a reason. Maddox looked well against man. I'll play a lot of man in this game. You know what I mean? I think the longest pass that the Rams had might have been like a little check down screen, and Robert Woods got a lot of yak, or it might have been the pass to Van Jefferson. I think it was like a 32-yard pass. But I think that the Rams are missing guys like Cooks, or who can create that diversion deep down the middle and get guys like Cooper Kupp open. I think Nicole Roby-Coleman is going to be able to deal with Cooper Kupp. As far as the Eagles' offense goes, the Eagles' offense has to adopt the similar mindset that Jared Goff had last week, and need I say Dwayne had. But this is the point. The point is the game plan has to be tailored to the opponent. You got to tailor the game plan to the opponent. Now, when I say that, pay attention to my words. You got 2 opponents in a row with the Washington football team and the Los Angeles Rams to where you can't have a game plan that you want to just stand in the pocket. You see what happened when Dak Prescott tried to stand in the pocket against Aaron Donald. How they tried to just be simple. How they tried to have a simple game plan of having a running back help pick up Donald. Picked up Zeke like a bag of chips that he didn't like in the market, threw him back down. You got to be creative. You have to roll out the pocket. You have to still run the ball. You got to be creative against these guys. The time is going to come, Doug. The time is going to come to where you play in a team that don't have that good of a pass rush, to where Carson could just stand in a pocket and pick them apart. It's going to come. Now is the time for Carson to use his brilliance. And then, with Doug Peterson, and one of the excuses that Doug came up with was that, it's hard to put a quarterback. How you doing? It's hard to put a quarterback in a position to roll outside the pocket when you're starting off behind the chains. When you're going against a dominant pass rush, that's how you're supposed to start the play. Moving outside the pocket, getting them moving side to side. You're supposed to start off the drive like that. You don't start off the drive running into the teeth of the defense or dropping back into the teeth of the defense. Now they got you in a 2nd and long, which turns into a 3rd and long. That's not how you start the drive when you're playing against a dominant defense, man, a dominant defensive front. Listen, the first play that I saw from Dwayne Haskins was getting him outside the pocket and throwing. Period. That was the first pass play. The first pass play I seen from Goff was a quick pass or getting him outside the pocket and throwing. It wasn't waiting for a long, deep slant to develop. It wasn't waiting for that to happen when a dominant pass rush is on your top. That's not how you do things. So, like I said, there's going to be some opportunities on Sunday. I feel like that the running game has to get off to a strong start. I feel like that, Miles Sanders is going to be able to, get some stuff done because Zeke got some stuff done against that run blocking defense. I feel like it's room to improve. Now, a win is the ultimate goal. We need to win. But I will be equally as satisfied if I see a great performance in a close game. Now, I'm not saying we got to go out there and blow these dudes out. We want to win for sure. But we got to look much better than we did last week to bring some hope to this, because as it's shaking out after week 1, everybody like to throw their parades after week 1. Everybody like to adjust the way that they feel after week 1. So now, after one game of playing, this is how it's shaking out. Now it's shaking out like Pittsburgh is going to the Super Bowl after one game of playing. Pittsburgh going to the Super Bowl. And we got Pittsburgh coming up. After one game of playing, Joe Burrow is a baby goat. And we got them coming up. You know what I'm saying? We got Lamar coming up. We got San Fran coming up. You know what I'm saying? So we got to start, we got to start doing what we got to do, man. You know what I mean? And I think it starts with the Rams. Let me just look in the comments.